Hello everyone, and welcome back to War Thunder Mobile. This is me in the USS Porter, a rank 1 destroyer, but a pretty good gunboat. And this ship's fully upgraded. It's equipped with sonar and depth charges against, pesky submarines. So the first half of the battle is going to be a little slow, but in the end we'll get to face off against, well, what I would say is currently plaguing the game a little bit, and these are submarines. First of all, though, I'm sailing down the eastern flank and just keeping a little bit of an eye on where the enemy team is coming in, and see if I can get myself into a position from where I can help out. There is a spotter plane of some sort. Let's see if we can shoot that thing down. I have no idea. I don't actually know if you can use the main guns in that aspect. Oh, submarine spotted. And by the looks of it, it is a French cruiser submarine. That's the Surcouf. That thing's got 8-inch guns on top, but it's already obviously going diving, and the plane appears to be crashing. So that's good. I am taking fire from the other side though. So there's something out there. That's a light cruiser. Definitely not something I want to mess with. So we'll smoke up immediately and see that we can get out of there. Drop some torpedoes in a general direction, but I think it's way out of range for torpedoes. Just in case, you never know your luck that something runs into them. And it looks like we've got the first kill on our side. I'm not entirely certain what the game's trying to tell me, but at least from the topside menus, they still have all the players. So I've got a destroyer over there to shoot at, and appear to have lost lock. There we go, got the lock back. But there was a light cruiser out there, so definitely don't want to get any closer if I don't have to. That said, with 8 5-inch guns, oh, there's some tracer fire coming, green tracer fire coming in from the left. What are we up against? That's a heavy cruiser. Okay, do not necessarily want to mess with that if I can avoid it. But we'll get behind the island. Yes, that's a Furutaka. I was about to say it looks mildly Japanese. And yes, he is. I'm just checking if he's coming out behind the island. I can drop some torpedoes, but I think he is slowing down. Yeah, he is slowing down. So he's not falling for the old, oh, let me chase after you torpedo thing. And I am still taking fire from the other direction. Have lost my rudder, which is a recurring incident. And there are torpedoes coming in from the Surcouf further south. So again, smoke screen to the rescue. And let's see what we can. Let's see if we can get into a slightly better position where we're a little bit more hidden from the island, and can make ourselves useful. That submarine needs to die because these things are an absolute menace. So we'll see if we can do something about it. Unfortunately, I'm still spotted, and I'm still within the firing angles of one of those cruisers over there. But I'm trying to do some damage to the submarine, given that it is partially surfaced. So its conning tower and its gun turret are poking out. But once again, I'm drawing fire from half of the enemy team over there, which I prefer not to. And there's that Furutaka at a very unpleasantly close range. So I guess we're going to have to deal with that, with all those things. The rest of my team is kind of hanging around the other end of the map. So it's more or less just the two of us here trying to do some damage at this point. So once again, smoke up, because that's a lot of opposition. Get some torpedoes away. And we are taking, even though we should be within the smoke, we are taking a lot of damage. Fortunately, well, my rudder has been shot off again. The Surcouf torpedo has been dodged by more luck than judgment here. And hopefully they can find themselves something else to shoot at rather than myself here. I'd be very much appreciating that. Maybe I am in a too aggressive position. Yeah, there's that Furutaka. He's coming on behind the island at this point. A couple of cheeky shots from the rear turret over there. But the coast appears to be mostly clear, and it looks like the rest of my team is now joining the battle. But once again, yep, that's a Furutaka. And we do not want to... Well, we don't want to have that on the flank, so let's start doing something about this thing. He's taking a fair amount of damage at this point, and I think we just detonated one of his ammunition storages. I would have appreciated if the turrets were flying off. There are some torpedoes incoming, obviously, but I'm already changing position rapidly and smoking up once more because I am drawing fire from that thing and I prefer not to. I'd rather shoot at somebody else, really. Okay, so Kuf spotted, very briefly, but already again diving, probably in a battle with one of the friendly submarines, which is sort of... yeah, they can keep each other busy, but yeah, that Furutaka needs to go, because I can't do anything about the submarine while that thing's around. He's dropping torpedoes again. And he is relatively well damaged at this point, so I might have to... Well, first of all, I'm going to have to dodge the torpedoes, but then I'm going to have to rush him. He is fortunately firing at one of my teammates, which is great. So if you can concentrate fire and start taking someone down is always good. Unfortunately, we have lost one of our team, but the rest of the enemy team is now huddled around the islands on the southern end of the map. And I think my torpedoes just don't have range here. Yeah, they're just too short on range. But we've been peppering that thing with 5-inch shells, and we are doing damage to his secondaries. I'm trying to hit the bridge to get his controls out of order, and I'm trying to just hit the engine spaces, whatever I can find that I can damage. But I think at this point I am going to have to get in there and do something about this thing, and then we'll try to get back and look at the enemy submarine. There's another light cruiser over there. That looks more American. I'm not sure what that is, but he's in a point-blank engagement with a friendly destroyer. So let's see how that goes. Okay, Furutaka, let's go. You and me, bro. Let's try to take out the gun turrets as much as possible, because these are 8-inch guns or 200mm guns, so they probably do a lot of damage. We keep managing to detonate his ammunition storage. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be permanently putting these guns out of commission. I think it's just reducing the rate of fire, but certainly does more damage to the ship. And I'm just trying to weave between the incoming shots. Of course, I have once again lost my rudder control, so I'm gonna have to smoke up earlier than I was hoping for, because I was trying to get closer, drop some torpedoes, smoke and turn. But we keep hitting his forward ammunition storage. Enemy torpedoes are probably now not so much of an issue, but again, I have lost rudder. Okay, I've regained rudder control. We're still doing okay in terms of damage that we can sustain. Where is he? He's been smoking up as well. There he is. Okay, full broadside. I think we've hopefully disabled most of his turrets and get all the torpedoes away. And then we'll do what we can. There is a strategic island ahead, because he's going to dump torpedoes in the water again as well. There is a strategic island ahead that I can use to... Okay, that should have been a torpedo hit. He's flooding now, he's on fire, and I'm going to just beach at the island there and hope that that's enough to avoid any incoming torpedoes from him, while we finish off the heavy cruiser, taking a lot more damage than I would like out of this, but there's another torpedo coming in. Come on, can you die already? There come his torpedoes, still aiming for the forward magazines, trying to get them to blow up one more time. Another torpedo hit, and that was it. And finally, we have managed to get what I think was a rank 2 cruiser out of the way. So I've taken a fair amount of damage from this encounter. Most of my crew is down to kind of like half complement, and this again is fully upgraded, so I've actually got a lot of extra crew. But yeah, the Sokuf is actually going for me. So now I am in a situation that I'm in a destroyer facing a submarine, which should technically not be a problem. So I'm going to go and try and rush that submarine. Now there come his torpedo spreads. So as long as I'm at a distance, it's not so bad, because I can pretty much just avoid him. The problem is he can just dive. And I really want to close in on the submarine, finish him off. So we've got the next spread going in the other direction, so now we can go this way. The closer we get, obviously, the more problematic dodging becomes, because at some point the torpedoes are going to be able to track me. I mean, they're not homing per se, but they're just launching at my course, and at some point they're just going to launch straight at me. So we're probably going to take one torpedo, but I'm going to go in for a close range kill here on that submarine. Yeah, there comes the final spread. Like, the sheer amount of torpedoes these things can spam is just ridiculous. So I'm going for a ram here. I mean, this is a submarine. It's on periscope depth. I am now ramming him with a destroyer, and he is taking torpedoes, while I think dropping depth charges. I'm not sure, but I've thrown some depth charges down myself, and I have just rammed a submarine. And while I have taken a little bit of damage here from that action. The submarine seems to be happily diving. Yep, there he is. You see him there down in, actually below where I'm pointing, down in the water. My sonar is picking him up. There he is. It's right there, the bugger. And not particularly fazed by the fact that he has just been rammed by a destroyer and has a whole lot of depth charges dropped on top of him. So I'm trying to do that again, once more for the ram, but I'm unfortunately now also taking fire from the light cruiser behind me. My depth charges are on cooldown because his torpedoes can reload 10 times faster than the depth charges on a destroyer can. And yeah, I'm being shot at by the light cruiser there in my rear, so there's absolutely nothing I can do. I can try get a couple more hits in with the 5-inch turrets at point blank range, trying to get torpedoes away, but the Surcouf is sending his own torpedoes and then diving again. I have no idea how he sent these torpedoes, because he was literally broadside to me. But as you can see, even in a fully upgraded anti-submarine warfare spec destroyer, it is almost impossible to actually sink submarines, unless they run completely out of oxygen and have to fight on the surface. So you can try as hard as you might, but there's just very little you can do about the buggers, simply because even just ramming one central on and effectively cutting it in half is a mere inconvenience for it, and it can perfectly fine just dive and avoid any further attacks. So yeah, I think that's an area where the game is going to need to have a bit of a balance change. I would say reduce the amount of reduce the torpedo reload on these things, definitely. Reduce the amount of damage they can take, and maybe just prevent diving when after they've taken a certain amount of damage. Because right now, even if you're in a destroyer, which is historically something submarines would run away from, not so much the case in this game. Anyway, that's all I had for today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.